Match number 13 of the CPL 2020 shall feature the Trinbago Knight Riders against the St. Lucia Zouks. Let's go on then and build our fantasy team and help you as well. Daren Ganga shall join me, Raunak Kapoor, on my 11 Circle Fantasy Pick on ESPN Cricinfo. Right, I'm looking forward to this one. If the evidence of the first set of games at the Brian Lara Stadium is anything to go by, these are the two standout teams of the tournament. Still early days though, as we approach the halfway point of the CPL 2020. Our pro tip suggests though that the Knight Riders side is back to go all the way by a lot of experts, drips with experience and depth, and they return to their first home, the Queen's Park Oval. So pack your 11 with players from the Trinbago Knight Riders. Daren Ganga, is that a smart pro tip?
Well, I don't think I can question that. Given what we've seen from the Knight Riders, every single arrow is pointing in the direction of the Knight Riders. They're playing at home at the Queen's Park Oval for the first time in Hero CPL 2020. They've had a clean slate so far in terms of wins. They haven't lost a game. Their players are coming into form. They know exactly what the pitch is going to offer, because I can tell you sneakily, Raunak, they've been the only team training at the Queen's Park Oval prior to and even during Hero CPL 2020. So they will be most familiar with the conditions there. That to me will be an added advantage for the Knight Riders.
All right, very closely following what the teams are doing, Daren Ganga. I expect nothing less from you. It's very interesting though that in our captain choice, we've not gone for a Knight Riders player. I'll come to that in a second and get Daren's response. Before that, quick reminder, on the My 11 Circle Fantasy app, 100 credits for every user to pick their fantasy team. 4 categories of players to pick from: batsmen, bowlers, wicket keepers and all-rounders. You can pick a maximum of 7 players from one team in any particular matchup. And you have every player's individual credit value listed right there on the app. Let's move on then. Our captain choice is going to be MOHAMMAD NABI. In spite of what we're backing the Knight Riders to do in this tournament and perhaps even in this game at this ground, we've gone for a St. Lucia Zouks player. He's contributed handsomely as the Afghan NABI with both bat and ball in the back-to-back victories that the Zouks have registered in CPL 2020. He's helped them to the top half of the table, and with 3 left-handers in the Knight Riders top 4, SUNIL, NARINE, Colin Munro and Darren Bravo, it might not be a bad idea to throw the new ball to NABI at the Queen's Park Oval. Vice captain choice, Colin Munro. Fairly slow start to the season for the Kiwi, but Munro's kicked into higher gear against the reigning champions, the Barbados Tridents. He scored a 29-ball half-century on a used track before holding out, and Munro does go berserk against space, even though he's not as comfortable against the spin of Ashley Nurse and Rashid Khan, as we noticed last weekend. So a formidable record at the Queen's Park Oval for Colin Munro, and therefore he is our vice-captain choice. Captains give you double the points and vice-captains 1.5 times the points, so make sure you pick them very carefully. SUNIL NARINE will obviously feature. I'm sure a number of you would be tempted to take NARINE as your captain, but he did labour to an 8 of 16 at the top of the order last time round and spun the ball both ways to keep the opposition in check. SUNIL NARINE is someone you do not want to ignore every time the Knight Riders play. KUGGELEIJN is there as well. Another Kiwi that features, a replacement player for the Zouks, is now the top wicket taker in this edition of the CPLs with 10 strikes in 4 matches, an average of just over 12.5, an economy rate of under 8.5. We've managed to keep the New Zealand quick in our team this time round. So our top picks feature MOHAMMAD NABI as captain, Colin Munro as vice-captain, and SUNIL NARINE and KUGGELEIJN. What do you make of that, Daren?
Well, 5 Player of the Match awards across NARINE, NABI and Munro. That's how good these guys have been so far in the tournament, and we're only in the beginning stages of the competition. So I think NABI is definitely going to be crucial if the Zouks are to compete and to win this game. You rightly said that right arm off spinner against the left-handers in the Knight Riders batting lineup will be crucial. The other point I'd like to make in terms of KUGGELEIJN, well, he's bowled with pace, he's bowled with aggression, he's the leading wicket taker. But it's also a double-edged sword. If you come to the Queen's Park Oval, you don't have variations. It could put you in trouble. We haven't seen many slower deliveries from KUGGELEIJN. He will have to adapt to the conditions, because if you're very fast at the oval on a good batting surface, 2 things could happen. You can get wickets or you can go for runs.
All right, pick that call very carefully. You've heard what Daren makes of it. Let's go to some value picks now, players that you could get for decent value in your fantasy team. Roston Chase shall feature fresh of the Man of the Match award against the Warriors, and someone who Daren recommended strongly, even though he didn't feature in our team the last time you were recommending one when the St. Lucia Zouks featured. We are putting Roston Chase in this time. We know that he may not be as reputed as one of the big hitters as some of the others in the West Indian setup, but we know how good he can be and how dependable Roston Chase can be. He's got a half century to his credit. His confidence is high. He's in our value pick. So too is Dwayne Bravo, who could have picked up his 500th T20 wicket on Sunday itself had his brother Daren not dropped a catch off him in the outfield. But we are going to back Dwayne Bravo more often than not every time the Knight Riders play. Quick look at our value picks. Roston Chase and Dwayne Bravo. In our full team, Andre Fletcher is the keeper option. Colin Munro as our vice-captain option among the batsmen. Plenty of all-rounders in this team. Sunil Narine, Roston Chase, Kieron Pollard. Mohammad Nabi is our captain choice. Dwayne Bravo as well as Harry Peer. And in the bowlers, you got Kesrick Williams, Scott KUGGELEIJN and Fawad Ahmed. Daren Ganga, thoughts on that?
Very good team. If I am to dissect that team a bit more and probably add a little flavor to it, Jaden Seals, I think, is a youngster that could probably bring value to you if you get him into your side. Why I say that is because he's practiced, he's played at the Queen's Park Oval, he's familiar with the conditions there. And you can see from what they've done in their previous matches, the Knight Riders, they're grooming him for a bigger role, a bigger responsibility. And we've seen that development across matches that the Knight Riders have played. So I would think that Jaden Seals will be given opportunities to bowl in times when there's an opportunity for wicket taking. He's picked up 4 wickets so far for the Knight Riders. He's playing ahead of some of the other younger bowlers in that Knight Riders squad like Anderson Phillip and so forth. So he is a young player. I would put some value on for my fantasy team.
Daren Ganga, thank you so much. We'll get plenty more from Daren as the CPL 2020 moves on My 11 Circle Fantasy Pick on ESPN Cricinfo.